Yordenis and Louis, both of you, congratulations on the victory. My question is, can you in any way sum up what it's been like for you to have won this fight, to come from where you were 2 years out of boxing, thinking your career may be over, coming back, beating Manny Pacquiao, a legend, in front of a big audience and welterweight champion of the world?
Sí, ahorita mismo estaba hablando.
You're right, Dan. He had some time, off. He had 2 years off. He's 5 years. He came back. He's got the right team behind him. He chose the right team, and he just felt he couldn't be beat.
What would you say was the key point of the fight? It seemed like there was one point early on when Pacquiao brought the pressure, and you could feel like you could take that pressure, and you brought it right back upon him.
Bueno, teníamos un plan.
Him and his trainer Ishmael Salad had a plan. They were going to move him. They were going to jab him. A little Mantequilla-Anopoulos left hand, of course, worked there from Santiago de Cuba, just like Mantequilla-Anopoulos. Okay, and that's the key to the fight. Move him, use the front hand on him, and keep him off balance. That was the whole game plan.
Keith Idek from BoxingScene.com. Louis, if you could answer this. If Pacquiao wants a rematch, is Yordenis contractually obligated to give him one?
He can have a rematch.
Do you think he will, Yordenis, if he can answer this, do you think he will want a rematch if he does want to even fight again?
200%.
200%. Manny's a great legend, great fighter. If he wants a rematch, no question about it. A legend like that deserves it.
I'd like to ask you, how does it feel in the lead up to the fight? A lot of people were saying that you were a paper champion because of the way that you came up on the belt. How vindicated do you feel with your victory unanimously over Manny tonight?
Listen, I've been living under Manny Pacquiao's shadow for a year. Now we like you said, we're gonna fight in the ring and find out who the champion is, and we decided in the ring. I'm very, very emotional. A lot of people say the Cubans can't win the big fight. So he's very, very proud that he brought this win from Cuba, for the people of Cuba, okay, to show him what he was all about.
My question to you is, when in the fight did you feel you took full control of?
No, yo salí a competir.
Since the first round he came out, very alert. He knew he had to take control of the fight if he was going to beat a great fighter. And that's exactly what he did.
At any time, did Manny Pacquiao rattle you? Does he still have the punching power that we all seen in his previous years in his career?
No, sí, todavía un peleador peligroso.
Of course, Manny Pacquiao punches hard. He's a great puncher. He got rattled in 10th, he got hit in 11th, but he's a great warrior. He knew that he's been hit hard before. This guy's fought, one of the great amateurs, fought everybody in the world, the pros, he fought everybody. So he knows what he's got to do when he gets tagged. He says what was working for him the whole fight was the way he was fighting. If the knockout came, would have came, but he wasn't looking for it. He was just looking to win the fight, and that's exactly what he did.
How does it feel to redeem yourself after that L, that they called it an L, from Sean Porter, and to become a true champion today?
He's very, very, happy that, he felt the same thing as you. He beat Sean Porter. So he feels very, very blessed to be beating also a great fighter like Manny Pacquiao, a legend, and winning 2 fights against 2 of the top welterweights in the world.
Did it surprise you that you saw so much success with the looping right hand early in the fight and then throughout the fight? Was that part of the plan or an adjustment that was made during the fight?
That's a shot that I always use, the overhand, the looping overhand right. It worked on Manny, so he kept using it.
I'm just curious, sir, if you felt any kind of pressure to win tonight, knowing that the senator is much older than you.
Bueno,
It might be 40 in his 40s, but he did beat a very, very game Thurman, a very dangerous puncher with both hands, and he neutralized him pretty easily. So I was looking for that with that Pacquiao that came in, and I'll tell you, he showed tonight he's still got a lot left.
I'm just wondering if you wanted to respond to any of the rumors that there was an injury leading up to the fight tonight.
No, eso no.
That's boxing. You got a lot of trashy guys like Rick Laser that make comments and make rumors, that's boxing. He was perfectly fine, and if his left hand was so bad, why did he neutralize him with his left hand? That's what won the fight, left hand. He just wants to make an example for all the young fighters. He fought probably one of the greatest fighters that ever lived tonight. He was off for a couple of years. He was down and out 5 years ago. That just shows when you got God, you got persistence. Nobody can deal with you.